keep going. Hello, everybody. It's Mother Love, and I'm here with the beautiful, the amenable, the fantastic, Tony Award-winning star in her own. It's just so much to say about you. I'm gonna let you do the talking. For you all who don't know that live up under a rock, come from up under the rock and join this conversation with myself and the great Melba Moore. Hey, beautiful.
Hey there, Miss Mother Love.
Hello,
So
love.
good to see you. I love you so much.
It's so good to see. We always say we're gonna run across each other sometime. Just always know that you have always been in my prayers. I think about the great time we had those many years ago, and we're still standing. Because you know why? You know why we're still standing, right?
No,
You know,
why? Tell me, Mother.
let me tell you why. Because they know could nobody else handle this better than you and I. That's why we.
Well, because we just being ourselves, right? Can nobody be us better than us?
That's the very reason why I never wanted to be an actress. I told him, I said, I'm an actress. I act like I like people I don't like. And as I got older, I'm like, I'm going to tell you I don't like it. So let's get caught up. Tell people where you're from, what you've been doing. This is the first time seeing Melba Moore, the second time seeing Melba Moore with Mother Love. Tell us what you've been doing.
Well, let me just turn this phone off. I'm starting to Zoom, baby. I've been working hard trying to pay my rent, okay? I have a new CD. Well, it's not so new, but I'm releasing a new single from it called I Can't Stop the Rain. This is the second single from it. The first one was called So in Love, and it's doing very, very, very nicely. So I got a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
I saw.
That's so exciting.
What's that like? To know that you have been recognized so greatly and so deeply and so loved that they put a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. What was that like for you when they first called you? Or do they call you? How do they get in touch with you?
Well, I have to give credit to my partner manager, Ron Richardson.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one who helps me keep up with my media and all the ways that you do things now on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, what can I do? I can't help it. I'm old school.
You're talking to the old school.
Keeping my voice and my body in shape to do the social media is a full-time job. So I got to say thank you to Ron Richardson, my business partner and manager.
Well, thank you, Ron Richardson. He has great taste. So what was that like for you when you were notified that they wanted to put a star for you on the
Well, my partner, my manager, Ron, had been working on it for at least 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
It's quite a long and involved process. And he told me about it over some time, but we were doing so many things, I didn't really pay too much attention. So by the time it came time for us to actually deal with it and recognize I really had it, he let me know what the process was, that it was a very long one, and that it cost a lot of money. And he allowed me to know some of the people who had been involved in helping it come to fruition. Because it's a whole lot of people that came together to make this thing happen.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't it's like, okay, I had my wonderful life, I'm a big star, da 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 da. It's very complicated.
But see, when you're doing God's work,
but that's not what you asked me. You asked me how did I feel. Okay?
How do you feel when you realized they were going to recognize you in such a great way?
First of all, once Ron brought me up to speed on what the process was, I was a little bit already overwhelmed that it took so much to do that. I mean, not that it shouldn't, but I just didn't know the process. And then it kind of all of a sudden hit me. I got this here. And I started to kind of get overwhelmed. And I realized, you know what, Melba, this is going to be a whole event. You are going to have to say something. You can't just stand there and cry. You're going to have to say something.
So you get a speech ready.
I started to think about it and how exciting it is and who you're going to be there with and that it's going to be permanent and all that. And I tried to write all that down and I still didn't cry.
When you're a natural waterhead, that's what happens.
It's overwhelming.
Yes.
If I could have said that to you when you first just asked me, but I really want you to, your listeners and your followers to get a feel of just how amazing. I don't know the right word to say for it. And since I'm an actress, I'm a public person, I should be articulate in all these things. But I don't want to just pass it by and make it just another thing that happened. I've had some incredible things happen to me. And this is It may not be the best or the biggest. I don't know what's going to happen in my after this. I don't know what's going to happen. You know what I'm
But
saying?
isn't that part of the fun of it? Not knowing what's going to happen and not even realizing who's watching you, who's listening to you, who you are, who has embraced you. When they hear your story, I mean, because you've been singing since you was about this many tall.
No, I have not.
You didn't?
I have not. No.
When did you know that you had a singing voice and you could
Did
make
you
a
know
living?
that I was a public school teacher first?
No, I did not.
Mother, I thought you knew everything about me.
I don't know everything, but I know everything else. I don't
You
know
know,
everything. I know everything. I
oh,
don't
you
know
know the
everybody.
other stuff.
You think we know everybody out here. I don't know everybody. I know everybody else. I know everybody.
No, I thought
Isn't that
we had
something?
we spent a few times together, and I
Uh,
probably there's so much to my story. I didn't get around to telling everything yet, but I'm a late bloomer, and I know people say that, but I really am. So I taught school for several years first before I got into the industry,
mm-hmm.
and
What
then
grade did you teach? What grade did you teach?
well, I taught vocal music, so I taught kindergarten through 12. I taught all the grades. I was what you call an itinerant music teacher. You travel around from school to school and grade to
Mm-hmm.
grade.
Mm-hmm. And you did that for several years.
I did, yeah.
So when did you decide, or did it decide? The universe decide for you, for Melba?
No, that's a
This is
very nice.
lovely.
No,
This is
you have to make decisions. You have to help the universe.
exactly, and to be able to say, I've done this, and now what made you say, I'm going to go into the industry? Or what, did you discover it, or did it discover you?
Well, once my mother was a single parent, so in the beginning I was an only child with no siblings, no relatives really, because I was living with my grandmother and my mother. My mother was a singer; she traveled all the time
Mm-hmm.
singing. So I was with my grandmother who had had strokes. So I helped her take care of her because my mother hired a nanny
Mm-hmm.
to take care of me. But what I'm trying to tell you is the family was not there then.
Mm-hmm.
There was no family. I didn't have aunts, uncles, cousins. Well, I didn't have that first community that you have.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of made me a little shut down and shy and kind of cut off. But my mother marries an incredible person from Newark, New Jersey, and he was a piano player, and they formed an act together. And so they started doing music together, but he
Mm-hmm.
also had a son and a daughter. He lived in Newark, New Jersey. So we moved from New York City, where I had been living,
Mm-hmm.
to Newark, New Jersey. Now I went from being an only child, no family, an invalid grandmother who can't even speak and tell you who your family is,
Mm-hmm.
to now I got a father, mother, sister, 3 brothers, aunts, uncles, cousins. Now I have a family. But
Now you
also,
got your village.
yes, now we have the first village that you actually begin your life in.
Now, how old were you when this happened?
I was already 10 years old.
Okay.
That's very late.
That well, kind of, sort of, but at 10, that was some big adjustments that you had to make.
Huge adjustments. Plus, usually, if you are the instrument, like a singer,
Mm-hmm.
you know you can sing by 3 or 4 years old.
Exactly.
You know why, mother? Because somebody in the family tells you. But if you don't have a family and there's no music in your house,
And to encourage you, to say,
whatever it is, you're missing that. That's a very important part of your being to have missing. So I think I'm very happy and grateful and try to give back now because I know what it's like to be raised and you don't have a family. So it's parts of you missing.
mm-hmm.
And then you get plunked into this incredible family. And now all of a sudden you got to learn how to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
I have a beautiful sister. I had 3 brothers. 2 of them passed away already, but I still have 1 brother. But the point is, I have brothers and sisters. We bonded. I saw my 2 brothers born, and I held them in my arms in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So these all these different kinds of bonding things you can. But the most important thing is that mother and daddy were musicians, so they rehearsed music in our home. They gave us all piano lessons. Now at 10 years old, I started to study piano.
So
That's when I discovered I had a voice.
Mm-hmm. And you knew you needed to be heard.
No, I didn't know that. Everybody in the family could sing, so you wasn't nothing special.
Oh, okay. They were like, okay, yeah, we all do that. Okay, move along, Mel.
So anyway, having music be the centerpiece of our family, I didn't know if I could sing or not, but I wanted to study and be in music. So I told my parents I didn't want to go to public high school. I wanted to go to arts and music high school and study music.
Mm-hmm.
So I majored in vocal music there. So then I went to Montclair Teachers College and majored in music there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I taught school for a while. But by then, I'd done a few things. So I knew I had a voice or whatever. And I saw my parents performing and I had a few little bands around and stuff. So I thought, maybe I'd like to try this. But,
Mm-hmm.
like Mother and Daddy said, we want you to have a real job. We don't want you to be like we are. Don't know where your next job is coming from because that's how musicians are. So after I did that for a while, I asked my stepfather would he help me get into the industry. Now I'm already in my 20s
Mm-hmm.
before I even begin to start to see if I can do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I get into the industry because I meet a lot of different people, but one of the first person I met was Valerie Simpson, who was at the beginning of her life and stuff. She hadn't really started her career yet. I mean,
Okay,
she
this is just a quick sidebar when you mentioned Valerie Simpson. Okay, my husband, he would say this to me all the time. That's gonna be my next wife. I'm gonna leave you and I'm gonna marry Valerie Simpson.
I
I was
will
like, I think
Valerie
her
fine
husband.
for that.
I said, I think her husband has something to say about that.
Valerie's still fine. Okay.
Like you, it's like I know y'all got a picture of yourself in the basement, like Dorian Gray. The picture gets
No,
old.
don't give credit to the wrong person.
No.
If you're going to do that, then say Jesus.
Oh, well, see, that's already, you know what? That's already, a lot of folk can't even handle that. I tell them all the time, I wish I could take credit for what it is that I do and the passion that I have for it. And I would never, if you had told me this 35 years ago, I would have just take me to your drug dealer because you must be on some real heavy dough.
Yeah, but you brought us all back, baby.
Right. And I was like, okay. And
Better
so
than ever.
he would always say, that's going to be my wife. I don't care where he saw her. So we had this event that we went to down when they were debuting Epcot Center. That was 100 years ago. And their plane was late.
Epcot, yeah.
Yeah, and their plane was late, and so we're sitting there on the front row, and it's in the blazing sun. We down in Florida, and we're just waiting for them to show up, and they got all the sound stuff going on. And I was like, okay, these people are not going to be happy by the time they get here. So me and my big mouth, I take the microphone from the tech guy. I sit on the lip of the stage, and I'm doing my mother love thing. They all applauding everything, and then I see them in the audience, and coming to. I said, oh, now y'all finally show up. Okay. Y'all better make this real good. And they just laughed. And I said, now, can I put this on my resume? That I opened up for Valerie Simpson and Nick Ashford. I opened for him. Don't think I didn't put that on my resume. I just want to let you know he's still my husband and she's still Nick's wife, even though he's going on home to glory. Okay, back to your story. I just want to say people never mention that.
I got my start as a studio singer because I ran into Valerie and she invited me to start singing on backup records for whoever the stars were during the late 60s.
Mm-hmm.
One of the recording sessions was for the Broadway musical Hair, and they were still casting. And so they invited us all to come down and say they would find parts for us. So that's how I got my first Broadway show, which was Hair.
That's why I want them to know who you are and where you come from.
Right. So that was my beginning in as a studio singer, and then in the Broadway show Hair. But I've had such good fortune because I stayed in that show for a whole year as a featured actor, learning how to act on the job.
Mm-hmm.
But they kept losing their female lead, and they allowed us whoever's in the show who wanted to audition for it.
Mm-hmm.
I auditioned for it. I got the female lead in the Broadway show Hair. So, but the big thing was the musical was about hippies. It wasn't about black people, but hippies hippies broke all the rules.
Yeah.
It was in the Broadway show Hair. I couldn't wear an afro as a school teacher, but I could in Hair.
Mm-hmm. And isn't that something?
The important thing
is important.
The important thing is I wound up replacing Diane Keaton. She had been the female lead. So I became the first black actress to replace a white actress in a lead role on Broadway when I replaced Diane Keaton. So that gave me a very nice start. It didn't really put me on the map, but it gave me a nice start. I was in the theater. I still didn't have an agent. So one of the people in the show told me about auditions for what became a second Broadway show, which was Pearlie. Now that's the show that gave me the Tony Award. Now that one put me on the map. Now that's how I got started.
See, now everybody doesn't have it like that, And do you think, looking as you further your career and continue to add accolades to your resume, was it ever a time that you said, maybe I shouldn't be doing this? Did you always know, even though you're a late bloomer, was it better for you? That's the question I want to ask. Do you think it has been better for your career and your longevity, the fact that you started as an adult? Did you find it was smarter to start late, or would you have changed anything if you had started as a young person into the industry?
You know what, Mother Love? I can tell you what I think and everything, but I'm not God. I don't know. And
Mm.
what I want to be cognizant of is that I'm mature. I'm a veteran now, so hopefully I can be a good example for people who are listening or watching your show now. So that I guess my point is, you don't know where you're going to be, how you're going to be, what's going to happen to you. So I don't know. I have this so many different things that happen to tell me, no, I should be in this business. I don't have enough talent. I don't have any money now. Everything told me I should go back and teach school because that's a real job, a regular
Even
but,
Melba Moore got to get a real job. You got to get a real job story. When they
but
said,
Mother Love, I never listened.
no, you
So I'm still
cannot.
here.
Yeah, right. And
So
so,
I
and
would encourage
so
people.
what?
I don't know your heart. I don't know your destiny. But what I'm here to try to do is encourage you to try to find out who you are. And sometimes you do that by going through some difficult times and seeing, well, can I make it one more day? Can I try one more time? And keep trying. And, I think it was really good that my parents made me get a good education. I think it's good to do that if you can.
Mm-hmm. And build yourself a foundation.
If you
See,
can.
and when you get the conversation from your family and friends, you want to do what? You think you can actually make a living doing this?
Right.
You actually think you can make a living singing? You honestly think? No, you got to have something to fall back on. I was like, I'm gonna fall back on my career, and I would never do anything that didn't have anything to do with where I was going further. I didn't know where I was going further, but you know how they tell us, get ready so you be ready so you don't have to get ready. So I was being ready because I didn't have to get ready, and that's I always got that from you. I mean, you see this little bitty teenagey person, and see when we first met, 111 pounds ago. And to be able to do what you do with the longevity and what you've done, what has been your take on the music industry as it's changed and is it morphed into I don't know what it is now.
I think Mother Love is just very, 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 very diverse.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good thing
Absolutely.
because you can find a niche somewhere.
Mm.
I mean, if you have to do this, like I have to do it, it don't always have to be big and important, but I feel like I'm living my life out and my destiny out if I can do it in some kind of quality way and I can put a roof over my head. Um, I don't know if I can do something good for somebody else, if I can have just a way to express that, to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think if a person has a passion like that for something in their life, it doesn't have to be music.
Mm-hmm.
They should keep trying to do what they're doing and try to learn how you function. I don't think sometimes we know ourselves,
It's an ongoing process. People oftentimes think, okay, well, this is it. This is as far as I'm going to get to go. I'm not going to, try any harder because I'm up here and maybe we will talk especially women, we will talk ourselves out of success because we think it gets too big. Oh, I'm being selfish. I'm not taking care of my family. I'm not taking, and we'll talk ourselves right off the ballpark. Just take yourself right on out.
And that may be the case. If you have a family and stuff, I don't want to try to talk you into not being responsible for your family because they're people too. They need to be considered. I don't want to make that decision for you. I just want to say, keep searching. When you have children, you got to look and see what are their dreams. It's your job to help them make their dreams come true too. So that is something very important to be considered. Each life is precious.
Everyone. And so when you get to that place where you know that you're going to make it, when did you know that you would be?
When you know you're going to make it.
Mm-hmm. I'm still waiting on it to happen. I'm just doing God's work. He told me this is what you go do, and I was like, wait a minute, why you? And this was a stupid conversation.
You know what though, Mother? I can think back to a time when I said, oh my God, I've made it. I don't know when I knew. I don't ever know when I thought I was going to make it. It was going to happen. But all of a sudden, stuff kind of smacks you in the face, and it's things that you've never experienced before, and you're with people that you've never been with before, but maybe that you've only seen on TV before, and something gives you a clue that maybe this is what it is to make it, and you start looking around and seeing, oh my God, I'm on TV.
That can be really overwhelming. It really can be.
But just like you said, that's exciting, and the other part of that, it really is fun. I don't want to leave that out.
Listen, when it stopped being fun, I'm gonna stop doing it.
Well, no, I can't say that because it
see.
may not be fun, but I've seen some things that I've done that were not fun and were horrendous, and it didn't stop me.
So, that's something, that most artists wouldn't even admit to. And the boldness that you just said, oh no, this is what this is going to be. You can't make the choice to stop. You have to keep going. You have to keep doing whatever it is you do. My mother used to tell us, I don't care what you do. You be good at it. You be a past master at it. I don't care if you picking crap with a splinter. Be the best splinter picking crap person in the whole slaughterhouse. And I was like, I don't think it should be that deep.
We hope that ain't that deep.
It was, and she was absolutely right about what she was saying. Whatever it is that you want to do, be the best at it.
Well,
and
I don't know.
To grow.
Mother, I'm not even saying that really. When I look around me and I see the talent that's there, and I don't know. If you say you're going to be the best at it, that sounds like you're saying you can be better than someone else. I can't guarantee that.
You can be better for you. It's not for anybody else. It's not for anybody else. Nobody can dictate that to you. That has to come from within.
It's hard to have that kind of state of mind when you're in an industry that's full of so much talent and so many different kinds of things. It's impossible for you not to compare yourself. And so I'm encouraging you, if you're not as good as someone else, don't let that stop you.
And don't compare me to anybody else. We're, just as you said, we are all unique in our way.
Well, I won't say that. People are watching this. I can't tell them don't compare me to somebody. I can't tell them to do that. They're going to do it. I don't have the power to do that. See, so I have to, sometimes, you might be in situations where actually people right in front of your face will scrutinize you and compare you to somebody else. I think you have to be thick-skinned. You have to be able to take it.
Right. And talk about thick skin. They used to tell me I had the skin of the shell of an armadillo. And I had to look up and see what that was. I'm like, why y'all get me with a real ugly looking animal? Okay, I'll just go with it. I will. And a lot of people, run into this business for the fame and for the money. They forget that this is supposed to be a purpose for you. Everybody can't do. You can't compare me to another singer on the face of the planet. Go ahead on. I dare you. I can't carry a tune and a push card.
Okay. Well, you in a safe place.
I don't know about it being safe. I don't know about it being safe. They're like, can we shut her up? Who gave her the memo? Why she know all of our business like this? Like I said earlier, I don't know everything, but I know everything else. And the business that we're in can be, you're so silly.
No, you're in your right spot.
It can be so gripping, and you can get so wrapped up into it that it will consume your life. And I was grateful. I told him a late bloomer. They brought me here when I was 35 years old. And I said, they all must be on drugs, but let's ride this till the wheels fall off. The wheels haven't fallen off yet. And what keeps you going? Where does Melba stand in this whole realm of show business? And how has it allowed you to grow and learn more about Melba Moore, the person?
We'll try to see it in the way that you said you should, the whole realm. I guess I don't see it in the whole realm. I don't think I can see the whole realm. So I take little small bits and pieces of it. Mm-hmm. And, God is first. So I start my day with focus and prayers and stuff on quietly being with him so I can feel his presence and see what today feels like to him, what's coming to me directly from him. What is the focus for today? Now, I'm Catholic, so I get a lot of help in that. Actually, the days are laid out for you. Mm-hmm. For instance, Thursday is a day of we study the mysteries of light, enlightenment, and we start to focus on Jesus's water baptism, mm-hmm. and the heavens opened up, and I like this part. And he said, and whoever was around him, his close.
The apostles.
Well, they weren't apostles, they're disciples.
Not at that time.
Still around him, they heard the voice from heaven say, "This is my beloved son. My favor rests on him." So I'm gonna stay right there. I'm gonna see what a favor is. Okay.
Is that not the best story ever? I mean, I respect people's, faith and their religion. And to me, faith doesn't have anything to do with it. Religion has nothing to do with faith. Faith is believing it when you don't see it, believing it because God said so, and trusting and standing on His word that never changes. We all wishy-washy and everything,
Well,
we
I
try to
know.
barter with God. I tried to barter with Him. I was like, wait a minute, well, why would you send me? I'm the crazy one. He said, listen, I knew who you were when you were being designed in the womb. So don't even try to me and my stupid self. I'm going, okay, well, wait a minute, Lord, what about he was like, okay, go
You
ahead.
be bargaining.
Go get it out, finish it. And before I got to the last sentence, I heard God laugh. You know what they say? You want to hear God laugh? Tell him your plan. And I told him my plan. He just went, oh, that's not getting ready to happen. And
Well, I know that on your format, you allow us to talk about God, but in some people's, that's not appropriate. But you allowed me to. You asked me to. So I'll just say that.
people that can't talk about God, whomever you conceive God to be, that means that you're being judgmental to another person because of what you believe
But
and how
that's the
you
case
think they
sometimes.
see.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I
But you
know
won't do
wrong is
that.
wrong. And BS is BS. God gave us a sense of smell so we could smell the BS coming.
There she told my God again.
Here she go. We piss Satan off every day. Every day we wake up and go,
Well, I do.
they up again.
I think, Mother Love, because that I'm saying I'm a late bloomer, I feel as though whatever I've had in this life, good, bad, or indifferent, whatever, that I'm at a point where it's peaked and I'm getting a fresh start and things are going to be bigger and better than they ever were. That's what I think. And I didn't want anybody to think I'm taking the credit for it, that I think I'm so smart, but I really believe it's happening. I believe that you're going to see, I think having the Hollywood star is only the beginning. Because as far as I'm concerned, I didn't have anything to do with that, but I did go to God first. And He said, that's okay for you. I'll give that to you. And then He gave it to me in a way where physically I really didn't have anything to do with it, but there was it in my face. That's what I think is happening now. But I wanted to put it in that context. Mm-hmm. So regardless of whatever people's religious beliefs are, when they see what my life is as a star, as a public person, mm-hmm. just let them know I told you so.
What they say in St. Louis, I can show you better than I can tell you. Since that's what you think this is, well, let me just shoot that thought right out of your pinhead brain, because you have no idea who you're talking to. And one of the greatest lessons, well, there's so many great lessons. This I don't understand. People claim that, and especially with Christians, they claim they know everything. First of all, for you to open up anybody to open up their mouth and say they're smarter than God, you need to go. This is me. I'm backing away. Okay.
No, I'm not saying that ever.
We ain't standing that ilk. Mm-mm. And people, when you trust yourself and people always think Melba's relationship with God, mine is going to be just like that. No, it's not. It's a personal decision. It's what He does for me. I'm grateful. I've been living on house money tomorrow it'll be since 1972 when I was almost killed in a car accident. And I'm like, I'm living on borrowed time. I know it. I'm a nobody in my family and my immediate family, my mother, brothers, and sisters, there were 8 of us. It's down to 2 of us. And I was the first one to make it to get to 60 years old. So they all died very, very young. And so oftentimes I feel like I'm taking their energy that they put out in the universe and they put it into me to keep going, to keep moving, to keep striving. What keeps you moving and striving? I mean, you got to start on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. You got a Tony Award. You got all kinds of stuff going on for you. I remember when you came out with your first album and I was like, first of all, first thing I said, isn't she pretty? She about tiny as that. She about this wide, y'all. I'm just telling you. I could put a photo up and put it in my pocketbook. I carry a big giant pocketbook.
Narrow little young lady.
Just fold it up in. Why your pocketbook moving like that? Oh, girl, don't pay no man. That's Melba Moore in my pocketbook. You want me to bring y'all, please? Oh, I knew we were gonna get silly.
You see, the Mother Love, you do stand up?
I used to. I did stand up for 15 years till I found out if I take all the cuss words and stay focused on the topic, I could become a motivational speaker. And that's what I am. I still interject my humor because God made me silly and there wasn't nothing I could do. I tell people, I don't take me serious. I've seen me naked. I have seen me naked. And my husband has seen me naked almost.
You said that's funny?
And I'm like, look at the knees. My knees by themselves are a comedy routine. Are you kidding me? Why do my knees look like they got lips? Because it's just a piece of me hanging on. I don't take me serious. We're not coming out of this alive. So why not enjoy it? Why not embrace the present? And nothing we could do about it yesterday. We got working on today. I can't even think about tomorrow because my head be swelling. What if I try this? Oh, let's experiment with that. Oh, and then I got, thank God he'll give me today. He will give me
so
today.
much. So
So
much.
when you're out there on the stage, do you have a process for Melba to get Melba ready in spirit and energy before you go on stage? And if you do, I want to know.
Absolutely. As the Lord has given me longevity, I'm getting more and more focused on that because you don't stay the same. Things change, and so you have to figure out, well, what am I being required or requested to do now? What does it take? It takes a special regimen. It always has for me. I've always, you never saw me fat, but I have a tendency to gain weight. I have a tendency to get laryngitis.
Oh, I can see that.
I have to stay very, very, very focused on my diet and my regimen. It has to be really routine. I can't get sidetracked or distracted. So I can't talk to a lot of people and do a lot of things just before I go on. I have to have some quiet, just calm down, focus, and remember what I'm going to do. Because first of all, every time I do a show, it's not the same show. It's something different. So you got to remember what the heck you're doing.
See, that's when you get, because every audience is different. You don't know what they're coming in there, how they're feeling. I remember when I was doing stand-up, this lady came up to me after the show and she said, I just want you to know, I knew I should come here to see you because you would make me feel better. And I said, well, what's going on, sister? She said, we buried my mother today. And I was so sad. And she said, I just needed to laugh. I just needed to have some kind of brevity. I don't know what they're getting from it, but the fact that she came up to me at that time, I knew I was supposed to be in that space because you don't never know who you're there for.
It's more than that, Mother. Did you just make things up as you went out on the stage?
I go in and get a reading on the audience. I'm like people like a pervert.
So yes, you did. You didn't have a prepared thing that you did.
Oh, no, 2 days are the same. I mean, I tell people all the time, I am not that clever. I really am not that clever. God put this craziness into me, and this is why when I run out of material, I go back to Cleveland because they are.
What I'm saying, you didn't have a set routine that you did. You just made it up.
Oh, it would drive the other comedians crazy because, well, you didn't say that yesterday. I said, well, that was yesterday. This is today. What you done? Well, we don't never know when you're gonna get finished, and that's when I started dropping the mic on the floor. When I got finished, I dropped the mic on the floor, and
you started that.
And the club owners would say, "Don't drop that mic one more time. You dropping $300 microphone." They said they want to know when I was finished. So then I went, "I'm finished." Like when the little kids in the bathroom, "I'm finished. Yeah, I'm finished." And he goes, "Why don't you just stick to what you?" I said, "I don't do yesterday's material."
Well, see, that's why you thought, okay. You went straight to the audience is different. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying I have a scripted thing that I have to remember to do. And I'm not always requested to do the same show or the same thing. So I have to remember what it is I'm doing. There's a whole arrangement. There are musicians that I'm playing with. Sometimes it's track. Sometimes it's a band. So it's always different. So I have to know what it is I'm doing. So I can't just go out there and make it up as I go. I can't do that.
Well, see, I don't make it up as I go. I've already got the material. It's who I'm going to talk about today. It's going to be somebody in my family, some of my friends, and I never call them by their name. I'm protecting their guiltiness, if there's such a word. And I tell them all the time, if you don't blurt out in the set, they won't know I'm talking to you. They won't know I'm talking about you. And my relatives will come on. She talking. I'm like, can you please sit down?
Would they get upset if you talk about them?
Oh, no, I had to stop my mama from coming to the comedy club. No, this ain't even about me. This is about you. I don't even want to tell you about the crazy stuff. That's what I say when I run out of stuff. And now that we have FaceTime, I don't even have to get on the airplane anymore. We could just talk to them.
But did they get upset when you talk about them?
Oh, no, they didn't get upset. Why don't you tell them about this? I'm like, they don't need to know about that. It's bad when you get heckled by your own people.
Brad was telling you to tell them more.
Yeah, I'm like, this is not how this operates, people.
Come on, they don't need to know about
and I was like, and this is a good thing. When you're I'm a middle child, and when you come from a bunch of people, you have to, get in there and figure out where you fit into that dynamic. And I was like, and I always got away because I could talk real fast.
Well,
And
I learned that dynamic once my mother married my father, and I had a sister who was older and a brother who was older. Then I had brothers that were younger, and I actually became a middle child.
mm-hmm,
And then it began to be, well, how do you communicate with these people, and who are you in this now? So I can
mm-hmm,
relate to what you're saying
mm-hmm,
there. But when you're an only child, I think I know what happened. Well, first of all, I had a lot of abuse as a child, and then growing up, you carry those scars with you, and now you want to be a public person and talk, and you're shut down. You can't talk, and you don't even know that you're sitting there. Everybody's communicating with each other, if they're young people or whoever they are, and you're just sitting there because you used to not being nowhere, doing nothing, and being nobody. You're used to that. Now all of a sudden you got the microphone. I guess that's one of the reasons why it was so overwhelming when I got the star. Now I got to make a speech. You have to be able to think like that.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So
So
now, did you write your own speech?
I wrote it all down because I knew I wasn't going to be able to think of anything, because I knew I was going to get too stunned and overwhelmed and just kind of standing. You got to say something.
You just can't stand there and look pretty. Okay, this is a big deal, sweetie pie. You need to understand the magnitude of this recognition in your life. See, and I would be like, are these people insane? Have they lost?
And you'd be saying that on the mic too.
I'm like, okay.
But you know who did that for me?
Hmm.
Because one of the people who helped me get me honored, assisted me, was Lunell. You know her work?
I know Lunell. Yes, I know Lunell with her
But
crazy.
she said everything about everybody for me.
And I taught her everything she knows. So when you see all these lady comics out here, trust me, they came and they're there because of my tutelage. I take full and absolute credit for all the funny ladies, dead or alive or come.
You taught her very well.
I told them, oh, she could cuss you out from an Amazing Grace to a floating opportunity, and you don't even know what done jumped out. You go, did she just check him? I am like that, as the older, the more seasoned I get.
She's very intellectual and
she's a very smart lady.
So it sounds very classy and everything. You don't know you've been cussed out,
Sometimes people need to be cussed out. I mean, you don't need to use profanity all the time, but sometimes you just have to check somebody.
Yeah, you can still. Yeah, you know who else is good at that is Cat Williams.
Don't even get me started on this guy. He didn't cause so much trouble. Well, he really didn't cause a lot of trouble.
But he kind of brought it out.
He was just speaking the truth. He was speaking the truth as he knew.
Because he's very, 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 very brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the things about you people, you comedians. Because what you do when you speak about things, it shows your insight. It shows your perspective. It shows your point of view. You comment on society.
Mm-hmm. That's what I do. Observe and report. I observed that the legendary Melba Moore has come onto the program about the love. She didn't forget about the little people. She didn't forget about
no, honey, we're all little people. Okay, you put me in your doggone pocketbook.
That's why I carry a big pocketbook. See, I try to explain. There's a young guy out of New York, and his name is Shaq C. Young guy. Fell in love with Forgive and Forget. And I was telling everybody you were going to be on the show today. He says, he got a clip. What he does is we do a clip, we critique a Forgive and Forget episode on Saturday from 5 o'clock Pacific time to 6 o'clock specific time. So he's got all these videos from Forgive and Forget. And when I told him you were going to be on, he said, can we run the one where she came on loud when she was on your show? I said, how you know that? He said, I got the clip.
He still got the clip.
We still got the clips. We still relevant. That's like saying Melba Moore her music gonna go out of style. You can't get mad at no Mother Love. And if you mad about Mother Love, you don't must did something wrong with your mother. No. Now see, when they used to say, well, what's a mother love? And I'm like, okay, I don't want to talk. No, nobody's stupid like that. They gotta ask, what's a mother love? No. And so and that's a good thing. Because you sing all kind of genres. What is it like to have a 5-octave voice? I mean, that's like, don't even try, my love. My throat will be out my nose. So the fact that you have this range, do you have a particular genre that you like to sing in? Do you? And when are you going to be on your next play, your Broadway play? I love Broadway.
Well, there are a couple of projects being worked on for me for theater. Theater. One of them is being worked on by a gentleman by the name of Richard J. Alexander. He's the one who cast me as the first black actress to play the role of Fantine in Les Miserables. So he's very insightful, but he's doing something that he's working on for myself and Norm Lewis, who did I think he was the first black gentleman to play the Phantom of the Opera on Broadway. So
Okay.
he's working on something for us to do together that he'd like to take to Broadway. So I hope that that happens. And then I have an autobiographical piece that's in workshop right now that I'm going to open up in August to start workshopping it and developing for um, producers. And I wrote it because it's my autobiography, but I'm not a script writer, so I want to put it up for fundraising and get really skilled writers to come in and finish it for me. So
Mhm.
a couple of pieces that I'm working on for theater per
Mhm.
se. And that one, I'm not sure if I'll even want to take that to Broadway. I might, you know, I want a gentleman by the name of Michael Matthews introduced me into what I call Chitlin Theater.
I know Chitlin Theater. We know it.
Well, my play might be appropriate for that, but I love Chitlin Theater because it's more community, or
Mhm.
it's not so big and bright lights so much as it's more intimate theater. I
Mhm.
like that too. I like the people like Richard J. will take me to Broadway and those things,
Mhm.
but I want to be in something that goes more locally as well.
Community wide,
Yeah,
community laden,
yeah,
and get the community involved in it. And people
yeah.
really,
And that's really styled for community, and maybe invite people to come in and start see their own project that they want to do,
Mhm.
so we can have some more fresh theater pieces being developed at that level. That's what I like to do.
So when you're out there and about, does anything like kind of gets in your craw? When whether it's pre-production, production, and how do you work through? Because when you're on stage, anything can happen, and when you're in a play, anything can happen. We were at this play, and literally the lighting fell out of the ceiling in
Oh
the
my
middle
God!
of the play. They Two of the characters was on stage. The lady, she just stepped over it because it had felt like right in front of her, and she
Oh
was supposed
God!
to. They moved like that, like it hadn't even fallen, like it didn't even fall down. I said,
Mhm.
"Oh, pros," because I'd have been running. I see this. I know what to do.
Well, maybe she didn't see it coming. I'm sure I
I
would have seen it.
don't, I don't think they saw that coming and falling down out the sky. And it was when you talk about intimate theater and more community minded. And a lot of people, for whatever doofus reason, didn't think people of color like the theater or like to write books or like to read books. And I was like, "What rock are y'all up under? We love." But I read a book. I work to read. I used to read 2 books a week, and I kind of slowed down on the books to take me a little longer. And I'm an avid reader, and so to keep yourself in tune with what's going on. You got this whole receipts that you have put down and you paid your dues. What do you want to say, and what would you say to young people coming up behind you, watching you, and you having been a teacher? Because it seems like to me you're always teaching. I don't think you kind of got away from that. Not really. But
Well, you always want to be, once you get in the classroom and you see if you do a good job, and I think I have some gifts as a teacher, you see you can really catch their attention and they really kind of see through you. You see that you have an opportunity to be a good example, but by that same token, if you care at all, you have a responsibility to be a good example. So one of the things I feel like that was a long, long time ago. But what I have now is basically everything is for my daughter, and I'm
Mhm.
trying to teach her how to be in charge of herself. So she's practicing on me. She's in
Okay,
charge.
wait a minute. And I don't let you get away with this like 11 times.
Look,
Please don't say you trying. You're not trying to do anything, my dear. You are doing it. Don't diminish what you bring to the table. You're not trying to do anything. See, me, I'm trying not to kill people. So that's when sometimes people just need a good
well,
movement.
I have to say it the way I believe it is. We're starting some new projects, and there's never any guarantee. So I always try to feel like
See, there you go with that. I try. You're not trying. You're doing.
I don't want God to feel like I'm needing Him. And He's the first one. I always want to be in His presence.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I always say I'll try,
Mm-hmm.
because He's the only one that can guarantee anything. And the way I am, I think I have a passion for things, so I can go out and do this, do this, do this, da, 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 and I'll still be trying, and it's not happening because God, He's the one that's in control.
And
But
see
what I'm
that
really doing is
I
reminding
understand
myself
that. I
I'm really
understand.
grateful. I have a passion. I have to get up and go. I've got some longevity now, so I know certain things work. So, but I need to remind myself every second of the time of the day to be open because now you really are there for other people's good. You're not good if you can't pass it on. And I don't know anybody, not even my own daughter. So, I can assume something
Mhm.
and then I assumed the wrong thing and I closed it down. So, and she's very giving and gentle and whatever. So I wouldn't know that I did it. So I want to work softly so that if there's anything that needs to be fixed, I won't have gone so passionately and so hard forward
Mhm, mhm. And
that
you gotta be open,
I can't get back
right? And you gotta
and
be open,
try it again or do it again or
right?
give someone else what I should have given them. But I was so busy going so hard because I've been doing
So
so
you
long. I
got
just
you got
forgot.
the you got the Melba Moore big head, and you go, "Oh, I can do this. I don't need anybody's help. I
No,
can do this.
you know
I can
what?
do this." And then you
You
go,
know,
"I need some
you know
help."
what, Mother Love? I'd be so, passionate. I didn't go on and did it. I didn't say I can do it. I just went and did it.
See, that's what I'm like. I don't understand why you say you try,
So
because God has given you the tools to
I have
become
the
successful.
tools. I
To
have the
become
tools. And
successful.
it's really, really been proven to me that I'm doing really, 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 really well. So
Mhm,
what I want to be cognizant of now is bringing new people around me, starting a fresh new team, and letting them get the experience.
mhm.
But I can't do that if I just push myself because I've always done it this way.
Right, and
So
it is hard to
I
change.
need to soften down and just trust God.
And trust your judgment.
You
Trust
know,
your judgment and your relationship with God, that He will guide
yes,
you and direct you to
yeah.
the
So
right
that,
place,
for me, that
the
means
right people.
softening a little bit and
Mhm.
allowing somebody else to have a chance to try, even if they make a mistake. I'll be here to fix it with you and for you. That's the attitude I want now. I can't do that if I be because I really love what I do,
Mhm.
and I get so much help and so much um, confidence from people. So I need to just keep it soft and keep it, so everybody understands you're welcome. Because my voice is strong and hard. Sometimes if I just sing a long, hard note, it sounds like I'm angry. I'm just strong.
I mean, how do you angry sing?
Hey!
Oh, wait. I didn't see that one coming, Melba. I did not see that. And y'all think I'm
No,
the silly one.
I've been preparing. But if I put that on you, I'm not going to prepare you because I want you to be impressed and stunned.
Oh, I'm impressed and stunned. Oh, trust me. I'm like, whoa, ooh. I know you could open your mouth that wide. You opened up your mouth and half your face was gone.
Yeah.
And when you talk about hard notes, what do you and the way that you do have these 5 octaves, what do you do
I
to make
wanted to
sure
tell
your
you that
voice and
too.
your vocal cords stay
I
fresh?
wanted to tell you this. I don't think it's 5 octaves. I don't know who
That
has it.
what it say in your bio. You got 5 octaves. Listen, you got more octaves than I do.
I didn't write the bio, but
Oh, okay. Well, they said you got 5 octaves. See, I believe what you tell me to. There's
it's
a
a lot.
reason.
It's a lot. It's very, very, very wide range.
Mhm,
And as you get older, it can get larger because as you get older, your voice gets thicker and lower.
mhm.
But the miracle is to keep the middle range and to keep the high range. And my higher range is actually getting higher. So it may stretch into 5 eventually. I don't think it's 5 yet.
So now
But
tell us
I think the miracle is that it's still growing.
that now. That's good. That's good. So what do you do? What do you do to keep your voice and your vocal cords fresh?
I sing to Jesus.
Well, that'll do it.
Oh, and
That
a lot of different kinds of songs with a lot of praise and stuff, and listen to what's going on
okay.
into it,
Hmm.
and see what the food it needs. You know, make sure the proper kind of breathing and every kind of exercises and exorcism keep the bad spirits out.
You can't have bad juju around you because they will suck it out of you every chance they get. Let's talk about the Blues Alley concert that's
Oh,
coming up in Washington, D.C., August 9th, 10th, and
oh
11th.
boy. Oh well, I'm very excited about that. I have a residency there, so they've invited me. They've already invited me to come back in January after I'm there this August 8th, 9th, and 10th. 2 shows a night, 7 and 10, I think. 2 shows a night, yeah.
Okay, man, it's 8, 9, you said this 8, 9,
August 8th, August 9th, August 10th.
and 11. Two shows a day.
2 shows a night. Yes.
That is so cool. When you said they invited you back, and you haven't even done this first concert. Is this your
No,
first time
because
ever to do?
they don't. They're telling me they only have a few tickets left now. It's almost sold out.
Well, you better get them quick because this is somebody to see live. Absolutely. I remember seeing, I think it might have been because I was a little kid. Well, I wasn't that little. When we went to see Pearlie. And my class, we got one section with all the little colored children in there. And I was like, all I kept saying, she is so beautiful. She is so tiny. Where'd she get that big giant voice from? When did she got somebody and she just pantomiming? Because it just didn't seem like that big giant voice came out of this little bitty person, you know. And the fact that you're absolutely growing and continue to grow. You had mentioned before that there was a lot of abuse going on in your family, and I would like to know, and I'm sure a lot of people would know because a lot of us have been. I won't say I was a victim of abuse. I'm saying that I was a warrior about the abuse. I wasn't gonna let them have that kind of real estate in my head. And how did you work through that and keep yourself together? And
Well, I don't think I kept myself together. I think over the years, different things happened. Like I said, my mother married, so I know I had a whole family. There was a father there. There was a man in the house. My mother was there. We had aunts and uncles. So there was authority there. There was order there. There was activities. There were things to do. You weren't there by yourself. Some strange person from who knows where can come in and do whatever because there's nobody there. It was a totally different environment. That's the difference between being an only child with a broken family and nobody really in authority, in true authority over you to care about you, to a real God-given family. It's a natural protection. So it's very, very different. You have sisters and brothers, you're playing, you're doing things with each other. There's no space or place for somebody to do anything negative to you.
And we all looked out for each other. We all looked out for each other. And we seem to have lost a lot of that familiar connectivity with family, with everybody moving out, doing their own thing, and just the family disjointed. And it could be that could leave a really big gap. And you had said that when you were growing up, you were pretty shy, and probably they would. I bet you she won't tell anybody. I bet you she won't tell. Well, I told it. I told the whole story. Yes, I did in detail. I told the entire story. People got in there. I was like, you know what? And I'm gonna be all right with that.
I remember there being people around our family that would do things that you wouldn't tell. When my mother married my father, it was a different environment, different bunch of people.
It was, and to watch things change, and not always for the better. We were talking earlier about technology and how it's changed, and how working to embrace it. Just when I thought I could get with the internet and everything, now they got Chat GT, whatever, Chat GPT.
Another reason for you to go off and be by yourself. But like in those days, we sat around the table, we played games together. Eventually, we had television, but we sat around the TV and we watched TV together. We did things together. We went on picnics. We had activities together. The activities in schools were different. You had after school games and different things that you could do. We studied music in public school, in elementary school. A lot of that's been taken out.
I was just getting ready to say, as an artist, and watching the arts taken out of public schools, and the band, there's no more band, there's no more 4-H club or the glee club, there's no more home economics. Don't you know these young people cannot even cook?
No, and these things influence your spirit and your soul. Even if you're not communicating directly with somebody, you're being with someone. Music has an intrinsic healing social thing. It does to people. It changes your mental environment, your emotional environment. It enhances it. It heals it. Take that out, leaves.
And look what we got. They got too much nervous energy. They don't know what to do with it. And when the arts are there, they have some place to put that energy in, playing an instrument, in getting, to be on stage,
Right.
and watching people. And we used to have, and I went to all black school. And I just thought everybody was supposed to be, like that. We had black cleaners. Everybody in the business in our community looked like us. And so when I got out of that community, and I went, where's the dry cleaners? Where's the
Well,
grocery
the
store?
thing is, wherever you are at that age, that's what your community is. That's what you're going to be when you get out. So if you take things out, you're not going to be ready to come out and be a whole person in society.
Oh, and they think when they turn 18, okay, they're 18, get out now. What do they know at 18? At 18 years, I know some 35-year-old people that shouldn't be out there in the world by themselves because they make dunderhead decisions. And I'm concerned about the young people who are being
Because they haven't
raised
allowed the family. They haven't allowed the family to continue to go and be there as you live your life out in society, so that you can still connect with your base. They haven't allowed the family to remain whole. They don't respect it. They don't feed it. They don't leave it there. So to me, since I've had it both ways, I really value the family. So, and I remember coming out of myself and learning not to be shy, and because I love doing what I'm doing so much, I want to communicate. I want to get out of my shell, to feel like, well, the world is my family. And I want that kind of attitude. Wherever
we belong to the we belong to a worldwide community.
Yes,
Got to stick together.
In a huge group or in a very intimate, whatever.
What God told us. You know what God said? He said, if it's two or more of you, I'm in the midst. And I'm like, we only got to have one other person. He said, oh, you done told.
One thing, you're not by yourself.
You done told the wrong person. Going out on the street. Come here, baby. Give me your hand. I just need a little word of prayer. And they're like, what? I said, just if you just do the short one, Jesus wept. And they were like, Jesus, you need to read the Bible. It's not, I take a lot of it, for what it is. I really do. And I also have to remember that a man wrote this because he wanted to be able to do stuff that was against God's will, and all these people do. I'm doing it in the name of the Lord. They don't think they're going to have any consequences behind talking crazy to God.
Well, you just said it all, Miss Mother Love, that I believe and trust that there are consequences, because not only this world, but this whole galaxy goes in circles. So whatever is going to come around. And I feel like what's happening, I really feel like, okay, I'm so grateful to have a family, to have a vocation, to have my good health.
90 seconds.
To learn who God is so that he knows he's going to keep this going. So I want to take care of it. I'm going to be up here. So you keep starting again. You keep trying again.
That's what we do. You don't try, my dear. You do it, and you continue to do it. Now, in the show,
somebody tells you you did it, honey.
That's it. You keep doing the doggone thing. You're not trying. I mean, how many singers and artists out there can say, I was a music teacher. I still teach students. This is what, and putting together, a good group. That takes a lot of work. Okay, tell people how about the concert. Just a little teeny bit more. She said, you better get them now.
Okay, Blues Alley is happening August 8th, 9th, and 10th.
9th and 11th.
Oh, I got the wrong day. Go to the website. Go to Amazon.com and all of them.
All of them. And just remember, we love you. We're so excited to see you again. I want to thank your awesome publicist of Busby Promotions, Cynthia Busby. That's my girl. I love she. And the fact that we get to see each other. We get to see you.
Time with you again.
And I know you probably don't think I remember this, but I'm just letting you know. When you get tired of them earrings, you put them in a brown envelope.
I was trying to forget because I was going to wear them.
I don't know. Oh no. Oh, listen. I know what. And I love shiny things. Are you kidding me? Ladies and gentlemen, the incomparable Melba Moore. Love, peace, and hair grease. My sister, know that you are always welcome at the Mother Love Show because I love you to pieces. Oh,
God bless you.
On my feet.